Voice clear? Reply fast. Voice fully audible? Already 5 minutes over after I started. Okay, clear. I will start. Okay. See, now, yesterday's class continued. I will tell once again, we considered a column, different effective length. See here, case 1, I have shown rough sketch here. Column is subjected to load like this. Effective length is 16 meter. Case 2, it is 16 meter, not to scale. Suddenly from 16 meter, I reduced to 4.2 meter. Correct? Is 4.2 correct? I forgot. Is 4.2 correct? I can check it easily because 4200 divided by 49.6244. Lambda 84. That's correct. 4.2 meter correct? I reduced to 4.2 meter. Then I further reduced to how much? Here see, this is effective length is 16 meter. I written here 4.2 meter. I further reduced to 0.4 meter. That is this much. Now, one extra, remember, one extra case you consider. Effective length equal to 0.1 meter. See, that is this way. Tell me, that's all. Means what? Tell me, this column will 100% fail by what? Buckling or crushing. This column will 100%. See, steel pipe this way of length, how much? Effective length, 100 millimeter, 4 inches. This column will fail 100% by what? Crushing. Okay. Anyway, one extra. See, I written here, lambda will come 2.0151. This you calculate. See, you know how to calculate all. You calculate this one extra. Just to I want to make ready for Rankine's formula. Okay, now, leave this one. Upper side for all the 4 cases. This is particular cases. This is common for all. See now, statements. For all the 4 cases, your column is a circular section of outer diameter 150, cross section, all dimensions in millimeter. Okay. Outer diameter 150, thickness 10, inner 130. This is the material. That is a thick pipe. Now further, its area. See, any length, see area, I and R, they are all cross-sectional. See, all these are cross-sectional properties. It has nothing to do with the length. It has nothing to do with the length. So area, least moment of inertia, and least R minimum. Okay. You already got whether column is having 16 meter effective length or 4.2 or 0.4 or 0.1, area of cross section, moment of inertia, and radius of gyration, this is constant. Now, before you go to comparison, just make a note. Crushing load equal to crushing stress into area. This I told you earlier. You know that at what load column will crush. See, column will get crushed. Crushing stress into area. Crushing stress is for material. Remember, crushing stress is for material. It is given 330 MPa. So 330 into area will give 1451.4 kilonewton. Means, correctly note now, when the load reaches 1451.4, that is around 1450, around 1 point, some little more. When the load reaches 1450, a little more, column will get crushed. It will become pieces. Remember, this has anything to do with the length? Tell me. This crushing load has anything to do with the length there? See the expression there. Crushing stress, apply the load this way on area. When the stress reaches crushing stress, it will crush. It has nothing to do with epoxy. This has nothing to do with your L effective or lambda. It has nothing to do with L effective or lambda. Okay. It depends only on area. That is what? This is the crushing load. Now, further go. All the four cases, slenderness ratio lambda equal to L effective by R minimum. Okay, now, one note, lambda increases when either L effective is more, column becomes more and more longer, and R minimum reduces. Column is more and more longer and thinner. Danger. It is column more and more liable to buckle. It will tend to become long column. So failure will be by buckling. And lambda will decrease. Slenderness ratio will decrease when column becomes shorter and shorter, and cross-section bulges. Cross-section bulges. It becomes thicker and thicker and length reduces. See, you can make out here. Then, because R is directly a measure of the cross-section only, then column is less liable to buckle, or it will go towards short column. And finally, if it is a short column, it will get crushed. Lastly, note, buckling is possible. See, for any column, you forget about all these cases. In general, buckling is possible only when buckling load is less than crushing load. Remember, buckling is possible only when buckling load is less than crushing load. Column can buckle only if the buckling load is less than crushing load. I told here, see, example given in the class, write it. Example given in the class, write it. And remember, crushing load is independent of lambda, that is length and other things. Length and also R. The buckling, crushing load is independent of, see, when I did crushing load here, there is no length required, only cross-sectional area. So, this clear? I will explain with an example. Why buckling is possible? You can tell that column is going to buckle. 100%. The buckling load, the load at which the column will buckle, least load, that has to be less than crushing load. This clear? Fast. That has to be less than crushing load. Clear or not? No. Clear or not? Why? I will tell the reason now. It is impossible that column will buckle if crushing load is what? If the crushing load is lesser and buckling load is more. Impossible. See, I will give a reason for you. Simple language. For this one, later I will not tell. See, imagine. See, once I finish this example now, next time onwards, I will tell, go back to example only. See, imagine a column. Imagine a column for which Euler's formula gave you buckling load equal to, say, 100 kilonewton. There is a column. See, you calculate pi square EI by L effective square or pi square EA by lambda square. A column is there. You write all this, for which Euler's buckling load came 100 kilonewton. That means that you should write it. That means if you keep on increasing the load, when the load reaches 100 kilonewton, column will buckle. Clear? When the load reaches 100 kilonewton, column will buckle. Clear? Clear or not? When the load reaches 100 kilonewton, column will buckle. Clear? Okay. Now, and same column, it is found out that crushing load is 600 kilonewton. That is, if the load reaches 600 kilonewton, column will get crushed. It will become piece, crushed. Tell me, will this, now for this column, buckling call, ultimately remember, irrespective of buckling or crushing, see, remember, whether it is a buckling load, or crushing load, whatever is that, it is ultimately failure load, correct? It is ultimately failure load, yes or no? You can tell column fails by buckling, column fails by crushing. Ultimately, buckling load is a failure load, crushing load also is a failure load, yes or no? Buckling load or crushing load, both of them are failure load. Yes or no? I want yes or no. Whatever name you give, it is ultimately failure. Nobody wants a column to buckle and crush. Yes. Therefore, for this column, suppose you tell failure load is 100 kilonewton. Is it justified or some sense is there or not? A column is there, when the load, you tell that way, when the load reaches 100 kilonewton, it will buckle. Okay. And when the load becomes 600 kilonewton, it will crush. So there is no chance of load reaching 600. Why? The moment the load becomes 100 kilonewton, column will buckle. So for this column, your statement that failure load is 100 kilonewton by buckling is justified or not justified? Theoretically, justified or not justified? Theoretically, justified or not justified? I want answer. Justified or not justified? Tell me. Somebody will tell, finally, he will not use the word buckling, crushing. He will tell that column is a gone case if the load becomes 100 kilonewton. Actually, failure. Yes, justified. Or, practical example. Imagine a vehicle running on the road at a speed of 100 kilometers per hour. The tire will get burst. This is not crushing. And it is found that if the speed reaches 600 kilometers per hour, unimaginable speed, then some other failure will take place. Most probably, engine will get seized. Tell me, 100 kilometer speed, tire will get burst. 600 kilometer speed if you reach, overheating, engine will get seized. Tell me, what is the failure speed for the vehicle? Tell me, what is the failure speed for the vehicle? Tire bursting or engine failure? Which one? 100 speed, tire will get burst. 600 kilometers per hour speed, because of some problem, engine will get completely gone, it will get seized. So 100. So justified. Okay, now, same way, now take another example. Imagine for a column, another column, some column. When you apply Euler's buckling load PB, answer came some other number, 600 kilonewton. Full ulta. Maybe short column. How it comes means, see, Euler's buckling load, length is in denominator or lambda is in denominator. Maybe very less slenderness ratio, lesser length and bulged section. Someone told Euler's buckling load is 600 kilonewton, whereas crushing load PCR equal to, this is a crushing load PCR, this is PB. PCR is 100 kilonewton. When the load reaches 100 kilonewton, it is a short column. Column will get crushed. It will become piece. Crushed. You know what is crushed means? Fully crushed. See, column become crushed, gone. Full gone. Piece. This way. Column gets crushed and full powder. It will spread on the ground. And when you calculate by Euler's formula, it is found that that column will buckle at 600 kilonewton. Now, tell me, real failure load for this column, how much? 600 kilonewton or 100 kilonewton? Now, can you tell for this column will fail at buckling by 600? If somebody tells that way, there's a column there, at 600 kN, it will buckle. But at 100 kilonewton, it will get crushed. So, if you tell Euler's formula, 600 kilonewton load is the buckling load, or that is the load when the column will fail, is it justified or nonsense? Is it justified or nonsense? Tell me. Somebody telling he does not know crushing load formula. He applied Euler's formula and found out that Euler's buckling load is 600. So he told, apply the load up to 600, no problem. Is it nonsense or justified or nonsense? Tell me. Is it justified or nonsense? First, justified or nonsense? Telling that failure load is 600 kilonewton. No, is it justified? No, you are not answering. Is it justified? See, you are not answering. Telling that column will fail at 600 kilonewton, Euler's formula. Is it justified or nonsense? Justified. Ayyo, I am going. I will go and study and come back once again. Justified, yes. So, there is a vehicle where someone told, if you go at a speed of 600, your tire will get burst. But when you go at a speed of 100 kilometers per hour, your engine will get seized and engine will get burst. So you tell 600 speed is the failure load for the vehicle, correct? How you told justified, first of all tell me. How you told justified? See, earlier I told 100 speed wheel will get burst. 600 speed engine will get burst. Okay, correct. 100 speed is justified. Why? Because when the wheel get burst, vehicle is gone. Now reverse. Someone told very strong wheels. 600 speed wheel will get burst. 100 speed engine will get burst. Tell the vehicle case. Tell the vehicle when it will fail. Tell the vehicle when it will fail. At 100 speed or 600 speed. It will fail at 100. Or, now make a note. When you apply a load, failure will take place, what? Whether crushing comes first or buckling comes first. Whichever what? Among crushing and buckling, whichever is lesser, when that load is reached, column will fail. Correct? See here, buckling at 100 kilonewton, crushing at 600. So when the load is 100, column will fail. So no chance of 600. If it is there, what should happen? Column will buckle at 100. See, a column will buckle at 100, fully buckle. Then it should stand up once again and then wait for some time and crush at 600. 600 is nonsense. Here, see, column will buckle at 600. For buckling, you need 600 kilonewton. For crushing the column, you need 100 kilonewton. When you apply the load of 100, column will become piece. So, if you tell 600 justified, what should happen? Column will get fully crushed, is spread on the ground. Then it will stand up once again. And why you are standing up once again? Because I want to buckle. possibility is there. Column gets crushed at 100. It has to stand up once again and tell. It has to stand up once again and tell what? Now I want to buckle. Possible? Now I want to buckle. Possible? Already crushed column will stand up once again and tell why you are standing up once again. Because I want to buckle. Possible? Possible or not possible? Possible or not possible? Already crushed column, not possible. Therefore, tell me, a column can buckle only if what? It buckles at a load less than crushing load or more than crushing load. Tell the answer. A column can buckle. There is a chance of buckling only when what? The buckling load comes before crushing load or after crushing load. Tell the answer. Buckling load comes before crushing load or after crushing load. If you want if the column is going to fail by buckling, only chance is the buckling load should which should come first. First it should reach buckling load, crushing later. So therefore buckling load should be less than crushing load. Correct? Clear or not? So Euler's buckling load, buckling possible only when buckling load is less than crushing load. Or you can tell what? From this example, you can tell one thing. See, you can tell one thing now. What? I will tell now only. Therefore, I will use red color. Later I will not tell. Therefore, Euler's formula for buckling load actually remember which is only for a long column which fails by buckling alone, or which fails by buckling alone. So Euler's formula for buckling load is applicable, theoretically is applicable only and only when what? Buckling, only when buckling load PB, Euler's buckling load PB is what? Tell me. Only when buckling load PB is less than or more than? Less than the crushing load. Less than the crushing load. That is PCR. Or worst come worst, what you can tell? It should be lesser, or worst come worst. 100 speed, tire get burst, and 100 speed, engine gets seized. Both will simultaneously take place. Or you can tell what? Either less than or equal, theoretically. But actually equal is wrong. I will tell you, Euler's formula you can apply only when buckling load is either equal or less than crushing load. Or what? Crushing, what? Buckling should not take place after crushing. Clear? Buckling should not take after crushing. You can remember, tire bursting should not take place after engine seized. Once the engine is seized and blasted, then where is the vehicle? It will get blasted. When engine gets blasted, or worst case, critical case, simultaneous, 100 speed vehicle, tire gets burst, 100 speed only, engine gets what? Burst. Clear or not? Or buckling load should not be more than crushing load. First tell me, clear or not? Buckling load should not be more than crushing load. It worst come worst, it can be equal. Tell me, clear or not? It should not be more. It should not be more. You are not telling. Clear or not? At any cost. I am not repeating once again. So I will tell you here either less than or equal. Clear. Or common sense. I will tell you. See, a column will always fail if it is a very long column. Buckling load will come lesser. Why? Column easily buckles. Crushing will take place later. Yes, valid. If it is a short column, because of the short column, buckling is not possible. You cannot buckle. See here, this column, can you buckle? By applying a load this way, do you think, can you buckle this column? See, this much length. Can you buckle this column? Tell me. Can you buckle this column? Steel column, this way. Can you buckle? Answer. Can you buckle this column? You are not answering. Can you buckle by applying a load? Can you buckle this column? No. Why? Because before the buckling load reached, this will fail by what? This will fail by what? This will fail by. Before you reach the buckling load, before that, this column will fail by. This column will fail by what? Before you reach it, it will fail by crushing. Yes, correct. And can you allow this column, can you fail this column by crushing? Tell me. By crushing possible? See now, how you can crush? As you apply the load, what happened here? It buckled. So, when it buckled, finally gone. How you can crush? Can you crush this column? Tell me. Can you crush this column? No, you cannot crush that one. Or, remember, we want buckling load to be less than crushing load. Or I will announce last time, which load column will there is a chance, or you can apply Euler's formula only when it gives buckling load either equal or within less than crushing load. Because if the Euler's formula gives buckling load more than crushing load, then buckling is not possible. Before that, column will get by crushing. See, for example, buckling load 100 kilonewton. Buckling load. Crushing load 600. Yes, 100 kN is correct. Why? Because at 100, column will buckle. Crushing will not take place. Maybe long column. Or buckling load 600 kilonewton. Crushing load 100 kilonewton. You cannot buckle. Before 600, at 100 only, column will fail by crushing. So, I will conclude now. Lastly, I will not tell once again. Euler's formula is applicable only when buckling load PB is either equal or less than the crushing load. Means column should be sufficiently long. When the column is sufficiently long, then you can buckle easily. Buckling load will come lesser. Concept fully clear. Will not explain again and again. There is a limit. Will not explain again and again. Is the screen fully visible? Yes. Fully clear? Okay. Now, that's all. See, now, come here. Your case 1, effective length 16 meter. See here. Lambda came 3, and one thing you remember, buckling is possible when lambda is high or low. Tell me. Slenderness ratio. Buckling will take place only when lambda is high or low. Only when lambda is high or low. Buckling will take place when lambda is high or low. It's a common sense. Slender column, high. So here see, your lambda came 322. It is abnormally wrong. IS code does not permit for steel structures lambda under normal case more than 180. So it is almost double. This is a gone case column. See here, thin and long column. will buckle at 83.5. But see, at a load of 83.5 kilonewton, this will buckle. If you increase the load, then someone will tell, how you increase the load? At 83.5 it will buckle. Then gone case column. Don't talk about crushing load. Why? Already gone. But if you want to crush this column, remember, crushing load is constant. It is independent of length. For all the 4 cases, crushing load is 1451.4 kilonewton. So, this column, Euler's buckling load 83.5 is justified or not justified. Or tell me, here, you tell this column, there is a chance of buckling will take place first, and it will take place at 83.5 kilonewton. Euler will tell, is it justified or not justified? This is not possible. This is not possible. You write all those things later. Here, justified, not possible. Justified. And later, coming up next, for the same column, Rankine's failure load will come 79 kilonewton. Why? Right now I cannot tell, because after this theory is over and after discussing limitations of Euler's formula, I am going to Rankine's formula. So remember, IS code or everywhere Rankine's formula is used. Of course, it is slightly modified. That's all. But pattern is same. What? See, long back I proved. As per the old code IS 800, I applied Rankine's formula and found the load. Every case it found correct. But you don't worry now. See, now, Rankine's formula load PF is 79. Why? Because 83.5 kilonewton load, it will buckle. But actually, when the buckling load reaches, it is bending, but there is some compression. So because of that one, tell me, 83.5 kilonewton, you should write everything. Column will fail by buckling. But when you apply 83.5 kilonewton, bending will come, buckling. But there is some compression. So actually effect is bending with compression. So column will fail little earlier or later. Tell me, if it is only bending, failure at 83.5, little compression is there. So because of little compression extra, it will fail little earlier or later. It will fail little earlier or later. Extra effect is there, compression. Tell me answer. It will fail little earlier or later. Think a little. If it is only bending, 83.5, but there is a little what? Earlier. That's why Rankine's formula told 79. So this is justified. Euler also justified. Among the two, if at all you want to believe something, tell who will believe later. If at all you want to believe, it is better to believe whom? Tell me. It is better to believe whom? Euler or Rankine? Better to believe whom? Euler or Rankine? Better to believe Euler or Rankine? See, just you can understand. Better to believe who? Euler or Rankine? इस पे कड़क है. Rankine's formula considers extra effect of compression. So, better to believe whom? Euler or Rankine? Suppose you want to decide with whom you can have more faith. Euler is sometimes gives nonsense answer. Who gives always correct answer? Rankine. So, therefore, Rankine is justified. See here. Now, when the second problem, effective length is 4.2 meter. Quite compared to 16 meter, now buckling will take place at 1212 kilonewton. Crushing will take place at 1451 kilonewton. So, even see here, Euler's formula is somewhat justified. But still, see, 1212 buckling, that means when you apply that much load, compression also comes. See, extra effect of compression is there. Therefore, Rankine told not 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2 is pure bending case. No axial load effect considered there. Axial compressive stress is not considered. Rankine told this is the correct load. Therefore, Rankine is more believable. Euler is not nonsense. It is not nonsense. You can tell why crushing will take place at 1451. Before that, it will buckle at 1212 means doubt comes. 1212 buckles. What about compression effect? That Euler will tell, I don't know. Then you go to Rankine. Okay, therefore, and see here, when the effective length becomes 0.4 meter, buckling will take place at 1,33,622 kilonewton. Unimaginable. If you apply a load of 1,33,622 kilonewton, column will buckle. Before that, at 1451.4 kilonewton, column will get crushed. Therefore, tell me, is this load nonsense or justified? Is the Euler's formula nonsense or justified? So, it is this way. When you apply a load of 1451 kilonewton, column will get crushed, piece. It will stand up once again and tell, okay, now I am going to buckle at what load? 1,33,000. What nonsense it is telling? Tell me, is this nonsense or justified? Is it nonsense or justified? No, here, 1,33,000. You are not answering. It is nonsense. Euler's formula is not applicable. See here, because here see, buckling load very much less than crushing load. Reasonably agreeing, but buckling load less than crushing load. So Euler's formula is acceptable but not correct. Real failure at 660. Combining what? Bending with compression. Rankine is correct. Here see, crushing load 1451 and Rankine tells 1435. Therefore, Rankine once again justified. Correct or not? See, now take one more case. L effective is 0.1 meter. Very small column. Buckling will take place at 21,37,950 kilonewton. One entire multi-story building standing on a small column. Nonsense. Crushing will take place 1451. Rankine tells because now buckling is impossible. So crushing and Rankine, again Rankine is justified. Or observe here, right from beginning up to end, who is always correct? From beginning up to end, who is always correct? Whether column is exceedingly long or very short. Whether column is exceedingly long and very short or medium, anywhere. Extreme cases also. Either that extreme or this extreme. One person gives correct answer. Who? Who gives correct answer? Rankine gives. So you tell, hey Rankine, you are good. I really believe you. I really believe you. See now. See here. When the column is very long, Rankine's load came near to, it came what? Somewhat closer to buckling load. See here. When the column is very long, Rankine's load came very near to buckling load. When column is very short, Rankine's load came very near to what load? Tell me. If the column is long, fails by buckling, Rankine's formula gives you very close to buckling load. If the column is very short, column will fail by crushing. Then buckling load is nonsense. Euler will give nonsense. But Rankine gives, suddenly Rankine gives very close to what load? Rankine gives long column, Rankine will give you near to buckling load. Short column, Rankine will give you near to what? Near to what load? See there. Short column, Rankine will give near to crushing load. So, extreme hot climate, extreme cold climate. Both the places, if you can survive, it means what? You can survive in extreme hot conditions. Extreme hot conditions. And you can survive in extreme cold conditions. Means what? You can survive where? Tell me. Somebody who can survive in extreme hot and extreme cold conditions means he can survive what? He can survive which condition? Extreme hot, he can survive. Anywhere he can survive. Or someone who is ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತಾರೆ ನಿರ್ಲಿಪ್ತತೆ. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿರ್ಲಿಪ್ತ. Hindi I don't know. Hindi. English what? Nirlipta. Not showing any what? Expression. What is the name in English? Not showing expression. Either very happy or very sorrow. Both the cases he is poker faced. That is a word called poker faced. Anybody knows the word? Nirlipta in Kannada. English. Anybody knows the word? Kannada called Nirlipta. Nirlipta. No face expression. Stoic, I don't know. Okay, stoic. Maybe, correct, I don't know. So therefore, if somebody, see, extremely happy position, he is normal. Extremely unhappy position, he is normal means every time he is normal only. He gets a profit of 1 crore rupees. He will tell, okay. He will tell, credit to the bank. He will undergo a loss of 1 crore. You tell him, okay, pay him. That's all. Then suddenly you start, okay, how are you? You have gone to visit him. When you visiting him, someone told company, sir, today 10 crore profit came. Okay, then do one thing, credit to the bank. Okay, done. Now, how are you? What is the problem? He talks normally with you. And after next day, some other time, when you are talking with you, someone came to, his employee came. Sir, 10 crore penalty came. Okay, pay it. Means what? He is adjusted. He can survive any time. Like in cards game, it is called poker face. You know it? Heard of it? In cards, it is called poker face. When you have a card, usually 3 leaves. By seeing your expression, people can judge you whether you got a good card or bad card for gambling. But poker face means they cannot read him. They cannot read. By looking at his face, he will be normal. He can't make out whether his cards are extremely good or bad card. He is normal. Kannadalli nirlipta. Phlegmatic. I don't know. Okay, leave it. Anyway, and people understood. Those who are watching the class, they will understand. Therefore, remember, Rankine's formula is universally applicable. I will come to Rankine later. Rankine, I used your formula without permission. Rankine will tell, how dare you use my formula without explaining my principle? Rankine, I will tell you later, little later. I will talk about you, don't worry. Today I want to compare. And I am telling you, I am praising you. I am praising you that you are always welcome. User is okay. User is completely okay if the column is very, 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 very long. As the column tends to become short, user starts giving wrong result. And after some time, user will start giving nonsense results. Clear? He will give nonsense results. Before that, column will fail. Unresponsive, some English, I am not English medium. Now at least, principle clear. If principle clear, I will go to limitations of user's formula and derive expression for lambda when user's formula is applicable. If it is clear, tell me. I will go to limitations of user's formula and I will derive expression. Remember, at that time, I will use this one. And I will conclude now by telling that you cannot apply user's formula if the column is what? Tell me. Simple language. Don't tell lambda all. You cannot apply Euler's formula. Euler tell you are not possible. You give nonsense answer. For nonsense means what? If I have got 10 rupees, if you have got 10 rupees, you will tell you have got 1 lakh rupees. He will tell high value. For which one? For short column. Euler formula is ruled out for short column. But long column, as the column becomes long, slowly Euler will come. After some time, when the column becomes very, very long, then Euler's formula is applicable. Then somebody will ask, sir, Rankine formula is always applicable. Then why you took that much time for Euler? Yes or no? Doubt comes. If Rankine's formula gives such a beautiful answer, realistic answer, tested and proved. If Rankine gives you tested and proved result, real failure load, you can depend on Rankine means why you are discussing Euler? Yes or no? Doubt comes. Somebody who is unpredictable person, why you want to refer? Tell me, yes or no? Doubt comes. You are giving too much importance to a person who is unpredictable. Yes or no? Tell me. Doubt comes. Why you give that much importance to unpredictable person? You tell me answer. Yes or no? Doubt comes. Unpredictable. There is no guarantee. What he tells may be correct. Long column, he tells correct. As the column becomes short and short, he starts lying. He slowly starts lying. He is boosting. After a limit, he will tell nonsense. Yes, doubt comes. But remember, even Rankine's formula came using what? Tell me. Using what? Rankine's formula also came using what? Rankine's formula also came using. Don't underestimate Euler. He told Rankine's formula also came using Euler's formula only. Or, see, Euler only gave you slenderness ratio. Remember, but if you can't blame Euler because Euler very clearly told, what? Tell me. My formula is applicable only when column is sufficiently long so that axial compression effect is not there. See, like such cases you can apply my formula. If you apply other cases, it is your problem. He told my formula is applicable only when the column is sufficiently long and fails by only buckling. See, now compression is not considered. See, very small. See here. He told that way. You can't blame Euler. These all Euler we imagined. If Euler is there, he will tell here. He will call me. Yes, but how dare you use my formula for such a short column? I am not applicable. I will tell, sorry Euler, I used it just to show to others what will happen if I use my formula, your formula. But he will tell me, how you used it? I am not applicable. He will tell him, I know it. Just to make them feel it. To know, so that I can tell or they will understand why you are applicable only for long. To tell them or to make them understand your importance for buckling, I gave example for short. Please don't misunderstand me. Please, I am sorry for applying your formula where it is not applicable. Then Euler will laugh and tell, yes, good, yes, correct. That is the way you can convince people when I am applicable or not applicable. Then Euler told, now onwards, don't apply my formula if a column crushes before buckling. If a column crushes before buckling, don't apply me. If it crushes before buckling, don't apply me. I should be the first one to reach. Column should buckle first. Then only I am applicable. Clear? Column should be what? Should buckle first. Yes, actually remember, Euler's formula is pure by mathematics. Rankine's formula is based on empirical and justification. See, Rankine gave formula. It will come tomorrow. But Rankine not only gave empirical, it is a empirical formula. But remember, the moment he gave empirical formula, he justified it. See, did not I justify numerically now? See here. Short column, long column. Rankine Euler merges. Short column. He long column. Rankine is closer to Euler. Long, short column. Rankine closer to Cushing. So by this example, did not I justify this assumption? I will tell you how he justified also I will tell. How he justified also I will tell mathematically. Mathematically, when Rankine gave the formula, how he justified, I will tell here. What is his justification? I will prove it. Okay, clear? Okay. Now, I will go to limitations of Euler's formula. Just do one thing. Talk too much in non-stop. A 5 minutes break. I will come back, rub the board, and remember, this I will preserve. I will preserve this one. I will rub this side. And start limitations of Euler's formula, mathematical expression for limitations. Okay? Just around 5 minutes. Non-stop I talk too much. Around 5 minutes. Okay. Don't leave the class. I will come anytime. Don't leave the class. Be here only. Or, meanwhile, you go through all this numerical. Just go through it and mentally prepare for the conclusion. At least you can do that one. Think a little about these possibilities. Okay, I will start. Ready? Hope you are not left. Ready now? Can I start? You are ready now? Voice clear? Get confirmation. Voice clear? Now I am coming to most important part. See, these things all I have told slowly. Okay. See, some people may tell also by listening to the class. He is telling again and again same thing. See, I tell again and again same thing for what reason? So that when something is told once, you just hear and leave it. But when something is told repeatedly, then what? People start believing. Okay, now I will remove this one. This full I will remove. Just a minute. This full I will remove. Just it will take few minutes. See, that I will not remove. That I will not remove. It will be there for some more time. Even tomorrow, tomorrow it will not be there because tomorrow we are going to new theory. I will get one more example. For the same column, I will give exercise for you. See, for the same column, today I will give an exercise for you. You work out that one and tell me the answer. See, 1 minute. Before that, okay. Now, some small, or I will give it, make it ready tomorrow. Okay, no problem. Not required. Tomorrow I will take one extreme hot condition, extreme cold condition. Extreme means extreme. Extreme hot means temperature around maybe 60 degrees centigrade. Very difficult to live. See, somewhere, some places in India, summer season, temperature goes above 50 degrees, that way. Extreme cold, Kargil, something like that. That I will take tomorrow, where human being almost cannot survive. Okay. Now, start. Now come to the most important part, limitations of Euler's formula. Limitations for Euler's formula. Euler's formula means Euler's theory. Remember, before that, first one statement I will give, you should write it. See, the statement is Euler's formula is applicable or Euler's formula is derived considering the column to be sufficiently long so that it fails only by buckling. Euler, when he derived, he told only by buckling. See, he never considered force by area compression. Yes or no? See, he considered only bending. He never considered effect of axial force? Tell yes or no. See in the derivation, PB into Y, bending moment. He never bothered about axial stress, PB by area. Tell yes or no. He never considered the effect of axial compression. He considered only bending, buckling. Tell me yes or no, fast. Tell me yes or no. He considered only buckling. So he told clearly, I am applicable only and only for long column which fails by pure buckling. You are not answering. Yes, okay. Now, you write the statement, then write Euler's form, therefore, Euler's formula is applicable. Actually, applicable, first of all, applicable for only long columns. But theoretically, you can talk. Applicable only and only when the buckling load PB, Euler's buckling load, is less than or equal to the crushing load PCR. In the piece here, what? Length L effective and R will come. Here, L effective and R will not come, pure crushing. Okay, start. Now we know that buckling load PB is pi square EI by L effective square. This is the original formula. Derived formula is this one. But remember, this formula is not considered because here radius of gyration is not there, slenderness ratio is not there. Therefore, Euler's formula is better understood as PB equal to pi square E into A by lambda square, where lambda equal to L effective by R. Already I told you slenderness ratio, it is there. So why? See, I, you put I equal to AR square. A will come. R square you take denominator. L effective by R square, R whole square, lambda square. Okay. Therefore, and crushing load, you know, equal to crushing stress into area. Crushing stress is a property of material. It is a property of material. It is a material property. It has nothing to do with the buckling all. Okay, now, or that is, you can tell here, from this equation, you can come down here and tell that is when pi square EA by lambda square, see here, because this is the practically used Euler's buckling load formula. This is original, modified is the correct because lambda you can see there is either equal or less than sigma CR into A. A will get cancelled. Tell yes or no. A and A will get cancelled. Or you can do one thing, that is what? Pi square E, you take this side, by sigma CR is less than or equal to what? Lambda square. Correct? Pi square E by sigma CR is less than or equal to lambda square. Or you can tell ultimately one statement here. You write everything. Or you can tell, I will put red color. That is Euler's formula. Euler's formula. Red color is not writing. I will bring another red color. Ink is not there. Actually, the red color ink got exhausted. Now I have to order for new. For some more days, red color may not be available. What to do? See, sometimes it happens. When I do not want red, red will come non-stop. Yes, got it. Now this is same pen. Now I want red color, I won't get it. I got it. That is, Euler's formula is applicable. Remember, not fully applicable. Applicable only if, see here, lambda square is more than pi square e by, you interchange and interchange this way. Only if what? Lambda is, see here, lambda is either, see from here, lambda is either equal or more than root of pi square e by sigma CR. Fully clear or common sense? You cannot forget. First of all, tell me, lambda, if you want to apply Euler's formula, you want high lambda or less lambda? Tell me. To apply Euler's formula, do you want high lambda or lesser lambda? Tell me. Do you want high lambda or lesser lambda? So, Euler's formula, if you want to apply, you want column to be slender. So, you want high lambda or lesser lambda? Answer. That only will tell you lambda should be more. High lambda. Okay. Now, this is the expression for condition for applicability. This is what? Condition for applicability of Euler's formula. Euler's formula. That means what? That is, you can tell, if your lambda is less than root pi square e by sigma CR, then Euler's formula becomes nonsense. It becomes nonsense or meaningless formula. Click here. If the lambda comes down, means column tends to become short. This is column is long. If the column tends to become short after a limit, then crushing will take place first. Euler's formula is nonsense or meaningless. Sorry, Euler, I am not telling you are nonsense. Because he told very clearly, I am not telling Euler is nonsense. I cannot tell that way. Euler is not nonsense. Person who is applying Euler's formula is doing what? Nonsense. Clear? Person who is applying Euler's formula. Euler very clearly told, you do not apply me if the column is short beyond a certain limit. Okay. Now, or using this statement, see now, one small confusion. Let me see how many will answer correctly. If it is an offline class, I enjoy this statement. See, by seeing this statement, or we can tell that square root of pi square e by sigma CR is also called, tell what? Anybody can tell? Euler's formula is applicable only when slenderness ratio is either equal to this value or more than that value. You cannot apply Euler's formula if slenderness ratio is less than that value. Nonsense. Okay. Or you can tell root pi square e by sigma CR is mathematically, very clearly, you can call what? Tell me. Let me see how many give the answer. I want one word. Fast. Tell me what name you can give for this one. Root pi square e by sigma CR. What you can call? Root pi square e by sigma CR. What you can call? Fast. If you don't know, don't know. I will tell the answer. No point in wasting time. If it already came to your mind, you tell the answer. Otherwise, tell no. If you already something came to your mind, you tell right, type it. Otherwise, tell don't know. No. Sorry. I am not telling you tell you don't know. I want to know. No, it is not limit of proportionality. Sorry. It has got a unique name. If I tell, you will laugh at that time. ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಸರ್ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ನಮಗೆ ಹಿಂದಿಲಿ ಇತ್ನಾ ಪತಾ ನೈ ಕ್ಯಾ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಸರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಸಿ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಬಟ್ ಯು ಟೆಲ್ ಇಟ್ ನೌ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಐ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು ಟೆಲ್ otherwise what happens is people will tell okay I know it. So I want to know whether idea came or not. If no, tell no, don't know. No harm in telling don't know. Everybody cannot understand everything every time. See, everybody cannot understand everything every time. No response. Just tell me, anybody. No, not able to think you can tell. You do not tell don't know, not getting it. You can tell not getting it. Then I will tell you something, an example. Then you will tell the answer. Fast. Time wasted. Tell no idea. You don't tell no, don't know. Tell no idea. No idea means what? It is not coming to mind now. What is that name? I want that comment. No idea. Anybody can comment. No idea. If you are that much adamant about that special name, no idea. Okay, I will tell. See, Euler's formula is applicable only when lambda is either equal or more than that value. So that value is called 1 minute. Now you will tell. In the examination, you will pass only if you get, imagine, either 40 or more than 40. More than 40. Imagine. When I was taking class long back, it was 35. Nowadays, it has changed to 40. So, you will pass the examination, result will come pass only if you get either 40 or more than 40. Tell me what is that 40 is called. Now you will tell. Don't worry. Answer came. See, answer came. Why? Because practical example. What is that 40 called? All student will tell, sir, that is minimum for passing. Yes, same way, this is called minimum slenderness ratio for applicability of Euler's formula. Now clear? This is called minimum slenderness ratio because so many objective questions they ask you. They will tell the value of E, they will tell the value of sigma CR. Option they will give. For this material, see, it is purely property of material. See there, it is property of material. Yes or no? It is purely material property. Yes or no? That is purely material property. Yes or no? Tell me. It is a pure material property. It will vary from material to material. Tell me yes or no. It is a pure material property. No length. So, only if pi square E by sigma CR root is called minimum slenderness ratio for applicability of Euler's formula. Now I will tell you one thing. See, that is what? So, when this is minimum, your lambda should be either equal to this value or more. You will pass in exam if you get either 40 or more than 40 means what? You have to get at least 40. So, you will pass what? You can pass in exam when your marks is more than minimum or equal to minimum. So, for a column, you can think of Euler's formula only if slenderness ratio is either equal to this value or more than this value. So, this is the minimum requirement. Now, one important information, see. In RCC all, minimum steel, minimum depth and examination, minimum marks. See, RCC, minimum depth, minimum steel, or in the house, you give minimum this much money, or examination, minimum for pass. That's all good or bad. Tell me, all of them are good or bad if you give more. All of them are good or bad if you give more than minimum, good or bad. See, passing in exam, minimum 40. Try to get more than 40. Depth of beam, minimum slab thickness, minimum 125, provide 150. Steel, minimum requirement, how much? Minimum requirement, 300 mm square, provide more. Money, minimum requirement, 1000 rupees required, give more. That is good. But remember, this is not good. This is reverse. This is bad. Clear now? This is bad minimum. This is bad minimum. This is bad minimum. So you want your lambda to be more than this value. Practically, if it is your column, do you want your lambda more than this value? Tell me. If it is a practical case, if it is your column, building column, if it is your own building, do you want in your building, do you want a column to have high slenderness ratio? Tell me. Do you want a column, slender column in your building? No. Or this is negative. Or I can tell example. See, in an accident, government decided compensation of 1 lakh rupees will be given. For that, minimum requirement is at least one leg or one hand, something like that should be lost. Tell me, is it a good minimum or bad minimum? To give compensation of 1 lakh for in an accident, they will tell 1 lakh you can claim if you lose one hand, not one finger, or they will tell 10 lakhs. Okay, 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs will be the compensation provided you lose either one hand, two hand, okay. At least to get a compensation of 10 lakh or more, you should lose at least one hand or one leg or etc. etc. Is it a good minimum or bad minimum? Tell me. Is it a good minimum or bad minimum? Tell me. Is it a good minimum or bad minimum? This is a reverse minimum. Don't think, oh, minimum, therefore more. No. Is a good or bad minimum? Tell me. Losing one hand, at least one organ should be destroyed. Bad minimum. Nobody wants this minimum. But if you want to get compensation of 10 lakhs, you have to at least lose one hand or one leg. Then they will tell, I can give. No, people will tell, I do not want to lose one leg. I do not want to lose one hand. I do not want your 10 lakhs. They will tell, I do not want your 10 lakhs. Or here, if you want, see, imagine for mild steel, because steel structures, you are using mild steel. Your E equal to 200 GPa or 200 10 to the power 3 MPa. And sigma CR for mild steel is approximately 330 MPa. Both are Newton per mm square. Therefore, tell me minimum lambda for applicability of Euler's formula. Euler's formula is square root of pi square into E, 210 to the power 3 divided by 330. That is equal to, tell the answer, around 80 will come. Tell the answer. It is found to be around 80. What is the answer? Around 80 is the answer. I know it. For mild steel, its value is around 80. Tell the answer. Answer first. 77.34. So 77.34. So if you have a mild steel column, you can apply Euler's formula only if lambda is either 77.34 or what? For column, you can apply Euler's formula only if what? Your slenderness ratio is either 77.34 or what? Either 77.34 or more. But do you want more? Tell me. Do you want more lambda? Less than? Ayo. Yaar Swami do. You will pass. What is this? After all the statement, minimum for applicability is 77.34. So, what is less than someone typed less than 77. If it is lesser, column becomes short. How you thought of that one answer? You should have lambda at least 77.34. If it is more, you can apply. If it is less, you cannot apply. But tell me, practically, do you want your lambda to increase? Do you want a column in your building where Euler's formula is applicable? Tell me. If you construct a building, do you want to have a column for which Euler's formula applicable? Tell me. Do you want a column in your building for which Euler's formula applicable? No. Nobody want to lose one hand or one leg and get a compensation. They will tell, no, I want maybe little scratches. Then they will tell, government will tell, 25,000 for you. Enough. 25,000 enough. Little one small fracture, etc. 50,000. Okay, done. Thank you. And you don't tell, I want 10 lakh. If you want 10 lakh, go and break your leg and they will tell, lose your leg and come back. So, nobody wants, but theoretically, you cannot apply Euler's formula for mild steel if slenderness ratio, I told 80 because olden days, this was 210. Remember, people who are little experienced, olden days, it is 2.1 10 to the power 5 kg per 10 to the power 6 kg per centimeter square. It was 210 long back. If it is 210 long back, see, if it is 210 long back, then answer is, that's why I told pi square. Pi square into 210 10 to the power 3 by 330 equal to root answer. See, it comes to 79.25. Olden days. That's why I remember olden days. Okay. But it is 200 now. So remember, therefore, you can apply Euler's formula only when your slenderness ratio is either equal or more than this number. And tomorrow, remember, when you go to Rankine's formula, in the Rankine's formula, a constant alpha will come, which is called Rankine's material constant. Remember, that value is reciprocal of this value without root, or that alpha is going to come sigma CR by pi square E. Warning for you. Remember, if you know one of them, other comes. What is the minimum lambda for Euler? It's reciprocal, but without root. Without root is alpha for Rankine's formula. Clear? I will tell you tomorrow. That is the alpha for Rankine's formula. Tomorrow I will tell. See, you will get sigma CR by pi square E. Clear or not? Can you remember? If you forgot the formula for alpha, if you remember this one, reciprocal without root is your Rankine's constant. Okay. Tomorrow I will tell it. Now, example is what? Now do one thing. See that 4 examples. All the example I have taken is mild steel. See that column 150 dia, it is mild steel. There, initially lambda was how much? 300. Yes, applicable. Then lambda became around 80, somewhat applicable. Last 2 example, lambda became 8 and later it became 2. Then it was not applicable. Now clear? See, our example, case number 1, fully applicable. Case number 2, okay, you can apply. Case number 3, nonsense. Case number 4, utter nonsense. Why? Your lambda came 2 and 8. 77 is here. Only finger got scratched. Only finger got scratched. No broken. A small scratch in the finger. You tell 10 lakh compensation. They will tell nothing. I will give you a medicine for finger scratch. You are all right. Go home. Don't claim anything. Finger got scratched. First case, heavy loss. Second case, medium loss. Now you can go back to the numerical and today thoroughly study all the 4 cases. That Once L effective is 16 meter, second time 4.2 meter, second one I bought very close to this one, third one 0.4 meter, fourth one 0.1 meter. Now everything is fully clear. Fast, time over. Everything fully clear. If fully clear, tomorrow I will go to Rankine's formula, the most powerful formula, and there are formula called straight line formula, secant formula, etc. IS code has used secant formula, but every one of them came through Rankine's formula. In strength of materials, we study Rankine's formula. In RCC and steel, they will modify IS code formula. Remember, it is nothing but Rankine's formula only. Tomorrow I will show it to you. Okay, thank you. Those who are in FPM class, 9:05, 9:20 I will start because I need 50 minutes rest. FPM class, I will start at exact 9:20. Okay? Those who are in FPM here, one is Suresh. I will start at exact 9:20. Agreed? Okay. Because at least after this much talking, I need 15 minutes rest. Okay. Tomorrow we will meet very powerful class, Rankine's formula, and we will solve plenty of examples tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.